Okay, so I am here in Mendota, Illinois. I don't even know if I'm really live right now, but this town, see, there's like a major fire behind me in these buildings down there. It's on their main street. It's called Illinois Ave, not far from my house. We just bought back my great-grandparents' home like a couple years ago. And this town, I don't know if you could see, this town was built like in 1856, something like that. And great hub. It's outside of Chicago, like by, I don't know, 70 miles. Second fire they've had in the past 2 or 3 months. One took out 3 buildings. See, look at that. And like for me, this is so unbelievably devastating because that is the main downtown area. That is like, you know how there's like Main Street USA and you're trying to build back this town. My great-grandfather had a bakery down there, made decent money like I think he was there from 1896 to 1947. These buildings, some of these buildings are like built in the mid 1800s. But like many places in America, beautiful architecture, but they haven't been kept up. And so right now we are dealing with several trucks. Let me see if I can turn around the camera so you guys can see. There's like fire trucks coming from every different place. And then we have to stay a block away, but there's basically black smoke. And major fire. Major. And it's so sad because, like I said, this town is an amazing little town. They call it the world's greatest little city. And it represents so much of America. And here comes some more fire trucks. It's black smoke. There's probably on that street, which is the main street, probably about, I don't know, I'm gonna say like 6 buildings on each side. This building that we think is burning is going to affect the other buildings. There are some tenants in those buildings that live upstairs. They're beautiful, amazing buildings. However, most of them have not been kept up. The electrical, you know, just the infrastructure is, you know, kind of messed up. So look at the flames, right? 1 block from here. We don't know yet. It's just, like I said, it's a relatively small town. There's about 7,000 people who live here. And like I said, just 3 months ago, there was another fire that burnt out like 3 buildings, and they had to take they had to take the buildings down. So that's what's going on. Anthony, do you want to be interviewed on my YouTube live? Oh no. So, but just look at all of I mean, for a small town like this, for us to have like a 10 truck, you know, fire is a big deal. And so anyhow, I just wanted to kind of document this because many of you, hold on, I'm going to turn around the camera so you guys can see. Many of you have been supportive of me getting this house because of the history. There's a big club there that's called the Elks Club. Amazing church right there. And then we have like just the most, it's really, truly, this town is like Norman Rockwell Main Street. And it makes me so sad because I asked somebody who told me about this fire, I'm like, is this arson? Because this is the second time in just couple of months. So I'm bringing this to you, explaining to you also, I haven't gone live with my royal content because I've just had family over here for Christmas, but I was just cleaning everything up, getting ready to create another live for you guys regarding some historic content. Actually, that one of those buildings was so amazing because a friend of mine was able to buy the entire building and all of its contents, which meant all of these antiques, which many of them are in my house. And by the way, very valuable. I got some books that were incredible. I bought a lot of my furniture from that antique shop. He bought the entire building for $12,000, 3 levels. a lot of potential, but do these people, does anybody have the massive amounts of money to really fix the infrastructure? So anyhow, just wanted to share, and thank you guys for watching. I will be coming back to you with some of my regular content soon, but this is what we're watching right now. I'm gonna guess that that's gonna probably take out like 2 or 3 buildings. The buildings are all like basement and then 2 levels. And this is not a small thing. Not a small thing at all. The only reason we're still standing out here is the smoke is not blowing into our faces. It's blowing over there. So this is what we're seeing. We only live a block from this place. No, I think it could be the, I don't know if it's the antique shop.
That's what I was.
But the flames are huge, and some, a couple of my kids are over there. There's,
Yeah, I mean, we can see it.
and it's the second fire in town.
That's what I said.
And now I'm thinking,
Isn't this weird?
it can't be a coincidence.
I mean, this is.
What, did they ever bring out a report as to what happened the last
I haven't
time?
heard.
Yeah.
I mean, this is very.
It's very strange, and it's upsetting because that's the main drag.
Well, I mean.
Okay, so guys, oh, sorry. So I was just talking to this woman. If in the span of 3 months, there's been, and again, small town, 7,000 people in this town, 7,000 people, you know, I mean, amazing people. The city is, I know for a fact, because I know a lot of the history, was built like in the 1800s, mid 1800s. Those buildings, many of them are literally not quite 200 years old, but at least 160 years old. And so 3 buildings came down over on the opposite side of town. They had to like just rip them and level them, and there were people living there. Now, again, Main Street, USA, which in the Midwest and all towns everywhere, Main Street is dying, you know, it's really dying. So it's just, this is a big building, probably 3 levels. It looks like a decent sized fire. We have probably about, I mean, I don't know how many are fighting it, but we have at least like 10 to 12 fire trucks down here. So we have the, you know, the surrounding areas here, and you know, the flames are still burning. And the thing is what makes me so sad is that I have this passion for the fact that in general, you know, there's some cities, some of these beautiful Midwest and, well, towns all over America, towns that have been able to sort of rebuild their downtowns, but many can't. And they're just trying so hard to run businesses. So there's one business down there that I know that went into the antique shop that was trying to have a cafe. There's another one that there was an ice cream shop that was about to be built. There's a pet shop there. There's the most amazing tacos. I'm telling you, I have one of my cousins, I was in London with him, and he's from here too. He was like, I've been all over the world. He lives in Spain. He has a second house in Spain, and he's like, I've never had tacos and salsa like the one downtown here. And so really great people, and this represents kind of what we're dealing with. Years ago, what had happened was, you know, cars were built, and then people wanted, whoever was dealing with roads and cars, you know, we needed then more parking spots. And so what happened is now the Walmarts came in and the Targets came in, making everybody kind of, the movie theaters needed more parking spots. So people, what? They weren't walking, they weren't parking on the street. So they ended up having to go outside of the downtown areas. And so now the downtown areas started to die, basically, because they weren't really getting, hold on, they weren't really getting the business that could help them to survive. And so Now we're dealing with probably 2 or 3 more buildings down. I will make a couple of shorts. I'll make like, you know, once we see what the results were of that, I will make a couple more shorts that will honestly just show you the damage, and we'll address this. And then of course I'm coming back to you with some more of my historic content, royal content, tell you a little bit about the street that I'm on. We actually had, back in 1865, because we're in Illinois, they had like, even that street is blocked off. Abraham Lincoln's funeral procession went down here, because we're not far from Springfield. Wild Bill Hickok is from the town. It's just, like I said, it's a very special place. Built by German immigrants, Irish immigrants, Native Americans. There's a lot of basement spots where a lot of people would come up, you know, for like, you know, during when they were trying to escape the South. You know, there's a lot of like underground areas here that kind of hid some of the slaves that were coming out. So anyhow, it's got all of that. So I'm just going to show you one more shot, and then I'm going to go and I will fill you guys in when I see the results of this tomorrow. Let's hope that it doesn't spread, because, you know, we're all living very, very close. So I hope they don't evacuate us. Hey, no, I'm good, but wow.
So you got to see the first one by photos. Now you see the second one.
I can't, this has to be like 2 or 3 buildings. It has to be.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, most likely. Yeah.
That's that whole, and you know what? I would be worried of that falling. Those buildings falling. This is so sad. Okay, I'm gonna say goodbye. Wow. Okay.